Now I'm sitting inside a very interesting and definitely unique caravan, and if you want to know more, stick around. But first, if you like our content and you'd like to see more of it in your feed, make sure you subscribe, leave a like, and look, let us know what you think of this caravan in the comments, because I'd really be interested in your thoughts as well. So what is this caravan? It's called the Harvock Dream Cruise. This is a 19-foot 6-inch caravan on tandem axles. Now the Harvock brand has been in Australia for a good few years now, but I'm seeing more and more of them on the road, and I think this brand is really starting to gain some traction because they do things quite differently. First of all, we need to talk about the van's construction. It's a monocoque shell that sits on top of a 6-inch chassis, but there's a lot more to the story. How do I describe it? Well, the shell of the caravan is made from 3mm aluminium over welded aluminium framing. Each panel is one piece, but where they join up, it's all been robotically welded, and you've really got to see it for yourself because these joins are seamless. I actually think they look more like folds, but no, they are robotically welded joins, and that's where the monocoque construction comes from. There is, however, one piece that's separate. That's at the very rear of the caravan, and the reason for that is, well, they needed to leave an opening so that they could get all the furniture in, inside the caravan and do all the finishing off and fit off all the appliances. But then that panel is all locked in and sealed up. But the story doesn't end there. The body of the caravan is built on top of an aluminium subframe, and then that aluminium subframe is bolted to the steel chassis. And because aluminium and steel don't mix, one likes to eat the other over time, they've fitted a gasket between the two. And the idea behind the way they've constructed it is that the body of the caravan and the chassis sort of work together, they move together as you're traveling along. And at least to my eye, it does look like a rigid setup. And it's all quite different to what you might find from most other caravan manufacturers. These Harvocks also have another key difference over your more traditional caravan builds. I'm referring to the power system. It doesn't use your bog standard 12-volt setup. It's actually got a 48-volt electrical system, and the difference between your 12-volt and your 48-volt, it really just boils down to efficiency. Every time your voltage doubles, the amp draw halves. So theoretically, at least, a 48-volt system is 4 times as efficient as your traditional 12-volt setup. They call it the Harvock Smart Power Management System. It's comprised of a 5 kilowatt 48-volt lithium battery. There's a 3000 watt 48-volt inverter, as well as 48 watts worth of solar panels, and there's also your multi-stage 48-volt battery charger and DC to DC charging as well. Now, from everything that I've seen in the caravan industry over the years, and based on my own experience, I think we're going to start to see more and more 48-volt systems in caravans. It's not going to happen overnight, but it'll be interesting to see how things develop over time. Now, you might have noticed you've got something that resembles a sort of spoiler at the front of the caravan as well as at the back. The idea behind these is to improve the caravan's aerodynamic efficiency, and according to the guys at Harvock, they have done quite a lot of testing around the aerodynamics of the caravan. And by fitting these spoilers, one of the things they hoped to achieve was to improve the towing dynamics of the caravan, to improve the stability of the van when you're going down the highway at 100 kilometers an hour. And I don't mind saying that as I was towing this caravan with my MUX down the freeway, I was sitting quite comfortably on 100 kilometers an hour. Look, the weather was pretty favorable, not massive crosswinds or anything like that, but the caravan really did feel quite stable and well planted to the road. I didn't experience any side sway or anything like that. Now, I don't know if that's to do with the spoiler system. All I can say is that the caravan, it tows well. Now, this is a semi-off-road caravan. It's got your torsion bar suspension as well as a DO35 coupling. And you might be wondering, where's the gas cylinders? Well, the reality is with this electrical system, this caravan doesn't need them. You've got your induction cooktop, a compressor fridge, and look, if you wanted to, you could pack a portable barbecue if you wanted to, and maybe a little 4.5 kilo gas cylinder. But the idea here is to go gasless. And again, this is something we are seeing more and more of in the Australian caravan industry. Now, as for your water system, you've got 2 100-litre freshwater tanks, as well as a 70-litre grey water tank. And I actually really like the dials, the water level indicators on the walls. They look quite automotive, actually. Yeah, I like them. The other thing I like actually is the light switch setup. These light switches that you can see on the wall, they're actually just sort of stuck, I think, with double-sided tape to the wall, and you can move them to wherever you want in the caravan. So you don't like the position of the switch where it is, well, just take it off, put it where you want it. The light switch will send a signal to a receiver, and the electrical wizardry does the rest. Oh, and when I picked up the caravan, this is one thing they showed me. Look at these little dimming switches. So you press and hold, and that light just dims to wherever you want it. Comes up again, and it dims. It's a small thing, but sometimes the small things matter. Now, while the Havoc Dream Cruise unequivocally does things differently, the bathroom, at least to my eye, does look fairly traditional. You've got your top-loading washing machine under the bench, a cassette toilet, bit of linen cupboard space, as well as a fully moulded fiberglass shower on the near side. Club lounge in a 19-foot 6-inch format without me feeling overly cramped in any way. I think two people would be more than comfortable. This caravan, of course, is designed for couples, so this dinette is a good setup. And I do mean that. It's really quite comfortable without being overly flashy. It's functional, it looks good, it's got your 12-volt points where you need them, and even just the interior aesthetics of this caravan is a little bit different. I'm so used to walking into caravans that, so many of them just look the same. This one is a bit of a breath of fresh air. And in my line of work, I love seeing caravans that do things a little bit differently because, Australian caravans, as you probably know, can start to look a little bit homogenous. This is not one of them. And look, this caravan isn't missing, those more essential items, the ones that you really can't do without, such as your awning. You've got external storage space as well in the form of a tunnel boot. I like the picnic table and the fact that it doesn't include any keys. That's a bloody winner in my book. And overall, what appears to be a good standard in terms of the fit and finish, especially when it comes to the monocoque construction and the robotic welding. Again, you really just got to see it to know what I'm talking about. So yeah, these Havocs, I reckon we're going to start to see more and more of them on our roads. This brand, as I said earlier, really is starting to gather some steam. There's a dealership in Melbourne, there's one up in Sydney. Oh, and when I picked up this van, anecdotally, the gentleman who handed the van over to me told me that the customer feedback has been really quite encouraging, especially when it comes to the way the vans are sealed, because obviously a monocoque structure should mean, nowhere for your dust or your water to get into. And being a gasless caravan, this van doesn't need the mandatory gas vent in the door. And really the only apertures here are those for the hatches in the bathroom. So yeah, I like it.